Hey there, it's Mannix. Now let's start off today with a simple question. How motivated and confident are you on a daily basis? So if you were to give yourself a score from say 1 to 10, 1, can't get out of bed, 10, smashing it. What's your score? Just be as honest as you can with yourself, because you see, if you're say 7 or below, that's impacting your performance. And here's the thing, you're part of the sales majority. You're not alone. You see, sales is tough. It involves rejection, it involves failure, it involves problems, it involves certainty, it involves measurement. You know, we're measured like so few professionals are, and involves a scoreboard that's so clear in terms of whether you're performing or not. And it's pretty cruel because that scoreboard's reset no matter how good last month was. So this is our reality and the environment we work in, and that's why a deliberate approach to building confidence and motivation is so important as part of your growth plan. It's a big area, but let me share a few of the big questions that are going to get you started on this conversation. First question to ask yourself is linked to the first conversation. Why am I committed to growing my sales? Now, as I mentioned very early in this series, you must link your personal goals to your sales goals if you want the motivation it takes to break free of the bill paying and boss's budget cycle. Second question is really important. Why do I enjoy and feel passionate about helping the customers I help with the solutions I sell? You know, you try telling an Apple employee that they should buy a Samsung phone, you're going to get a really big, serious debate and maybe argument. Now, not every product or service that we sell is going to make a huge difference in people's lives, but the more you get in touch with and passionate about why you and your solution matter, the easier it's going to be to maintain consistently high levels of motivation. A question that's aligned to this is, why do I enjoy and what do I enjoy and like about working with my customers and prospects that match my ideal target customer description? The number one predictor of whether you'll be supported and successful in your customer relationships is how much you like the customers and prospects that you deal with. Now, another interesting and valuable exercise is to reflect on what really motivates you as an individual. Now, generally, it's a combination of factors and needs, but understanding what really gets you going is important. Now, as a human, you're motivated by 6 things: achieving a base level of certainty, gaining freedom and choice, feeling important, feeling more connected, achieving progress, and a sense of advancement, and finally, contributing to the lives of others. Now, if your sales role is just about paying the bills, then your motivation is attached to achieving a base level of certainty, which is like level 1. And don't be surprised if you're in the bill-paying boss's budget cycle, if that's your only motivation. Now, we also need to consider confidence. Higher quantities and quality of sales action is correlated to higher levels of confidence in being able to execute on the plan that you've developed and the activities required to grow sales. As an example, if you've identified asking for referrals as a key part of your strategy, but you don't feel confident in asking for referrals, then we've got a pretty big problem. Once again, a huge subject, but let me offer 2 key questions here. The first is, who is making me feel more confident on a regular basis? Now, as a starting point, most people should probably start with who in my life is destroying my confidence and make some plans to spend a lot less time exposed to those people. But we also need to consider which people we need to be spending more time with. You see, our confidence should be positively impacted by the peers that we spend most of our time with. And I challenge you to reflect on this and make changes if you're not surrounding yourself with peers that build your confidence each and every day. You see, Rumi challenged us to spend more time with people that fan our flames. Great advice, and please make sure you're not spending time with people that are tipping buckets of water on your flames and putting you out each day. Now, the other question I like to challenge people with in this area is, what are you doing to win the morning? Now, I've covered this in detail in other vlogs, but the big point is that if you're not deliberately priming your mind and your heart for success, motivation, and confidence each morning, there's a really high probability that you're doing the opposite. And as I mentioned, this is a big subject area, but these questions and reflection exercises will get you started. Your plan must be executed to succeed, and confidence and motivation are the fuel that will enable you to execute consistently across the year. Well, wow, look, we're 7 out of the 8 must-have kickoff conversations in. We've covered a lot of ground. Just to sum all this up, the core question to consider for this conversation is, what can I do daily and monthly to maintain consistently high levels of motivation and confidence in executing my sales growth plan? Next session, which is the final one, we'll finish the series off with a discussion relating to the key ingredient for execution excellence. Now, as I wrote this vlog, I was thinking about the run I had diarised for the next day and the fact that I got to report into my coach with data on how it goes. I can tell you now it's going to be a painful run and the brain's already looking for excuses, but it's going to be more painful to tell my coach I didn't do it or I did it poorly. Now, that should give you a big hint on the final conversation we need to have in terms of the 8 must-have conversation series. And remember, if you're doing a major kickoff, please speak to my team about having me along as a conference presenter. And look, if you don't have a kickoff presentation because you're, say, an individual salesperson or maybe your team's too small, come to our kickoff event on February the 12th. We would love to have you as part of it. All the details are on the website, and there's even a competition to win over $12,000 worth of sales training. So look, here's to a better sales life and a better kickoff for you and your people. And just remember, the quality of the kickoff is defined by the quality of the conversations. Dean Mannix checking out. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope you found it valuable and educational and useful for your role in sales. So if you did, please share it. Remember, sharing's free and every other salesperson out there needs all the help they can get. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I've got lots and lots of content coming out and plenty of content inside the channel right now ready for you to digest. Enjoy, and remember, sales is meant to be fun. If it's not, you need to change the way that you're doing it.